What if I told you there was something in our everyday lives that could improve our whole health and well-being? What if there was something that could decrease the risk of developing and worsening depression, anxiety, heart disease, high blood pressure, dementia, diabetes? What if I told you there's something that could create healthier, more prosperous and resilient communities and help people get along, especially in a nation that has gotten meaner and more divided? There is something. It exists. It's called positive relationships. And Scouting provides many ways for these relationships to be made and to grow. And Scouting relationships advocates can help our districts, councils, and territories. Hi, I'm David Wyrick. I'm the National Service Territory 9 lead for Scouting Relationships, and I'm looking for Scouters who believe Scouting makes a difference and who want to learn more about the impact of relationships and become Scouting relationship advocates. Now, when it comes to Scouting, I can tell you that everything rises and falls on the relationships we have. The problem is, we need Scouters who understand the value of relationships and how they're formed and maintained and how vital they are to our success in changing lives for the better in a culture that's just gotten mean and divided and lonely. The Scouting Relationships Advocate Conference will be held at the Philmont Training Center June 23rd through the 29th, 2024. And I'm looking for at least 20 Scouters across the country who'll be willing to invest their time and their money to come to the Philmont to become Scouting Relationships Advocates. Now, imagine if every district, every council, every territory had someone trained in understanding the aspects of relationships and why they're so necessary and how to create them. Someone who could teach it and preach it and say it and spray it and, oh no! Well, not spray it, but you know what I mean. A person who's a promoter for Scouting relationships. An advocate is someone who can explain the most important relationship of all in Scouting and how that if that's not happening, then ain't nothing happening. An advocate is someone who would ask the tough questions like, how is this event going to affect our relationship with the community? Or are we giving the National Outstanding Eagle Scout Award to the right persons? Or why aren't we presenting the North Star Award? Or are we serving the right food at this occasion? Wait, food? Relationships? Vital part of relationship development. Advocates learn why. Advocates are those who can shout from the mountaintops the fact that Scouting can help our kids today. Help our kids today in a culture where 40% of parents are either very or extremely worried because their child is struggling with deep anxiety and depression. And because of that, we know that the second leading cause of death with kids 10 to 14 today is suicide. We are, as Surgeon General Vivek Murthy has stressed over and over, in a crisis now in our country where the mental health of our young people is at stake. And Scouting can help change that on many levels. It's the best environment for youth and adults today, based on the positive relationships they create and they maintain. Who's going to get that kind of message to our councils, our districts, our territories? Who's going to teach it and preach it that if Scouting can help our kids, our leaders, and our nation for the good on all levels, that's a good thing. Scouting helps emotionally, psychologically, sociologically, spiritually, on all levels. And Scouting relationship advocates get that, and they're the ones to bring that message. At Philmont next summer, advocates will not only learn from me, but also Dr. John Giethlein, a Scouter and psychologist who will talk about our emotions, youth mental health, and loneliness, huge factors in our culture and how Scouting can help. As well as Gary Oler. He's a Scouter and leadership coach, and Gary's a student of Dr. John Maxwell, America's leadership expert, who stresses relationships in leadership. If you're a person, a people person, who has a desire for understanding and developing positive relationships and would like to be someone empowered to help your district, council, or territory, then join us. I'm inviting you to the Scouting Relationships Advocate Conference at the Philmont Training Center, June 23rd through the 29th, 2024. I'd love to see at least 20 scouters become advocates. I know there's an investment of time and money to attend. John, Gary, and I have to pay to attend as well. Plus, we have to pay for our travel to and from Philmont. And I'm coming from Ohio. I'm debating right now whether to drive or take the train. You know, as Dr. Murthy said, he said, we all have a deep and abiding need to be seen for who we are as fully dimensional, complex, and vulnerable human beings. We all need to know that we matter and that we are loved. These are the deep-seated needs that I believe can only be filled through positive, secure relationships. And I believe that scouting is the best place for those to be met. And when they are met, people tend to live healthier, more productive, and more rewarding lives. But when they go unmet, people suffer. Our youth suffer. So you see, there is something that can create healthier, more prosperous, and resilient communities. Help people to get along and to build better scouting in a friendlier nation. That's something is relationships. Join me, will you? Register for the Scouting Relationships Advocate Conference at the Philmont Training Center June 23rd through the 29th, 2024 at the PTC website. It's all about relationships.